As the geopolitical chessboard grows increasingly complex, a hawkish voice in Moscow is now advocating that Russia should launch a limited nuclear strike on a NATO nation without triggering an all-out nuclear war. What's furthermore, he states that the United States is lying when it says that it can guarantee nuclear protection to its allies. Our next story explains all about this alarming threat that's been put out by this Russian military strategist. Take a look.
Ukraine's audacious Kursk incursion has failed to blunt the Russian assault. Instead, sharpening its attack, Moscow has launched deadlier strikes. Kyiv is still pleading with its Western partners to allow it to launch long-range missiles on Russian territory. On Friday, US President Biden is meeting UK PM Starmer to take a decision on allowing Kyiv to go ahead with deep strikes. Moscow calls it a grave provocation. Prominent Russian hawk Sergei Karaganov is urging President Putin to take a more aggressive nuclear stance. His message is clear. Russia must be willing to use nuclear weapons if NATO-backed forces continue their aggression in Ukraine. He proposes that Moscow openly declare its right to a limited nuclear strike without sparking a full-blown global war. Karaganov, who has the ears of Russian President Putin, argues the US cannot guarantee nuclear protection to its NATO allies, as it claims. He insists that Russia's current nuclear doctrine, which only allows the use of nuclear weapons in response to a direct attack, is weak and emboldens Russia's adversaries. So is it possible to launch a limited nuclear strike without escalating into a wider nuclear war? What would happen if Russia launches a nuclear-tipped missile? What kind of retaliatory action will it trigger? With over 12,000 nuclear warheads worldwide, 90% of which belong to Russia and the US, the stakes couldn't be higher. Russia possesses the largest stockpile of nuclear weapons, with over 5,500 warheads, many far more powerful than those used in Hiroshima. Karaganov's push for a nuclear posture revision reflects the growing sense that Russia's nuclear threats must be taken seriously. With tensions between Russia and the West at a fever pitch over Ukraine, this provocative stance could redefine the rules of global security and push the world closer to the nuclear brink. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
And I earlier spoke with the former German ambassador to China and Japan, Dr. Volker Stanzel, who joined me live from Berlin, and listening to what he had to say.
Well, this is not a new one. We heard the same person already giving interviews and writing articles with the same message, which did not persuade Putin so far to take that as a serious possibility to continue the war and to carry the war into Europe, Western Europe, and against the United States. I think the reason is that even Putin is still reasonable enough, but more than that, it is the military, the heads of the armed forces in Russia, who weigh very carefully and rationally what is possible, what makes sense for Russia or for not. However, you never can discount the possibility of an irrational reaction. And that is why so far, Western supporters of Ukraine have insisted that Ukraine does not attack places inside Russia, far inside Russia, where this kind of destruction, they would impinge on Russia, would change the security balance.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.